and welcome to Traditional Painting the Digital Way. This is where I use digital painting apps to teach traditional painting techniques. This is part 2 of my look at the new brushes in Rebelle 4. And in this video I'm going to test out the new oil painting brushes and see how they do. And I wanted to go ahead and do a wintry scene with a snowy road and some pine trees. So I went ahead and picked the canvas that I wanted, and there are several different textures of paper that you can choose from here, and you can even add your own paper, or you can actually buy some paper. And at their website they actually have different kinds of paper for sale at the Escape Motions website. And so here I wanted to go ahead and take a pencil and just kind of do a sketch like you would do on real watercolor or real canvas, real oil canvas. And I would probably use either stretch canvas or canvas board for this if I was doing this traditionally. And so I'm just kind of making a little sketch of the road, and I found a couple of photographs at Pixabay that I wanted to combine to make my picture. And so I wanted those colors. I liked the colors of the orange in the background and the bluish look to the snow. So here I'm taking some of the oil brush and just kind of painting on the color of the sky. And I wanted to use one of their round brushes, but you can also use a flat brush. And if you were doing this, if I was doing this traditionally, I would take white acrylic gesso and cadmium orange and mix them together and make this color, and then use probably my 1.5 inch flat brush to do this sky. And I would do it with giant X strokes to make it look smooth. So I was trying to do that here. I'm trying to get the look of the oil paint, and I wanted to make it a light yellow near the horizon. So that's what I'm doing here and trying to blend it in. And so I tapped on the blend brush icon on the left side here of Rebelle 4, and I'm using sort of X-shaped strokes like I would do traditionally here to blend in the colors, and it seems to be working quite well. And this is very much blending sort of like it does in Art Rage, and maybe even a little bit better. So I really liked that on this this new Rebelle 4 edition, and all these new oil brushes that they put in here. And so then I wanted to do the pine trees in the back. So I want sort of a purplish color. And if I was doing this traditionally, I would use Hooker's Green and dioxazine purple and mix those together to get kind of a purplish grayish green color. And you just kind of make you make the middle, the center of your tree, and then go up and down with a zigzag Z-shaped stroke here. And I would use either a fan brush or a flat brush, and you can use the round brush too. That's what I'm using here. But anyway, just make sure that you make the Z-shaped strokes. And so that's what I was doing here, was making Z-shaped strokes. Say that 3 times fast. And trying to get the look of distant, raggedy pine trees. And it seemed to work quite well with these brushes in Rebelle. So I want to go ahead and just add all these across the horizon. and they're going to be the last layer of trees. And don't make them all in one size. Well, if you're painting, of course, you want to vary the sizes and make some tall and some short, and make sure that the edges are jagged, of course, and just kind of add some closer together. Just make sure that you don't have the spaces all the same, equal length from each other, because you want to vary that, because that's what it is in nature. It's not uniform looking. And then as I come closer on this end, I'm making the trees a little bit taller here, and so I want to go ahead and just kind of fill in some of the gaps at the bottom of the trees. You can, especially near the top, let some of the background come through, but you want the trees to look denser at the bottom, because that's where most of the leaves are. And so here I was trying to get the other photo reference that I saved, and I wanted to go ahead and just kind of use the shape of the road and the way that the trees did in this picture here. So I'm adding kind of a darker purple, and you would probably throw in some ultramarine blue if you were following along traditionally, and just go ahead and add that in to give you your snow. And here I was using some of their round brushes for this one, kind of. It's a filbert brush, and that would be a good choice also if you were doing this traditionally. You just kind of want to make little round humps of snow here, and the colors don't have to match. You just kind of want blue, because you're doing an underpainting here, and an underpainting is the first layer of a painting, and then you would let it dry, and then you go back over it with other colors, and you kind of let some of that color show through, and that will give you the three-dimensional look that your snow will have. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm painting the snow banks on the side of the road here, on either side of the road, and you want to darken your corners a little bit to sort of give the eye stopper effect. And an eye stopper is what keeps the viewer's eye from getting bored and going off of your picture. And so here, that's what I'm doing, just trying to do that, and filling in all the white spaces here, but leaving the shape of the road, trying to make sure that you leave the shape of the road. And I'm trying to get rid of some of these hard edges, because the snow is going to be kind of soft on the edges of your road. And if you're painting with acrylic, you don't want those hard edges, because they're harder to layer the paint on top, and then the hard edge shows through, so you don't want to do that. And then here I'm adding a darker purple color for the road, just trying to differentiate the color of snow. And if you're doing a road, it would be, if you can see the dirt underneath it, it will be a little bit darker if the snow's not too deep. And so you want to be able to make sure that your road shows up from the sides of your snow on either side of it. And so here I'm just kind of doing that, trying to blend it in, trying not to lose the road completely, but I wanted to get everything completely underpainted here, where you have the first layer of paint done. And so this is the end of part 2 of my look at the new brushes in Rebelle. And in part 3, I'm going to work some more on this picture and see how it compares to Art Rage 6 and all these other oil painting simulation programs. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below, and I will catch you later.